Right now, if you're bored, you have about 4,000 options within arm's reach. You could scroll, you could watch something, you could message someone on the other side of the planet in under a second. But 50,000 years ago, there was no phone, no fire to stare at, sometimes, no one to talk to for hours. So what happened to a human brain that had absolutely nothing to do? The answer isn't as simple as, they just sat there. Because here's the thing, boredom isn't a modern invention. It's older than language itself. And what our ancestors did with that boredom might explain why your brain works the way it does today. Let's start with something surprising. Anthropologists who study hunter-gatherer tribes that still exist today, groups that live closer to how ancient humans lived, found something nobody expected. These people, once their basic needs were met, often had 6 to 8 hours of completely free time a day. That's more free time than most people have now. Hunting didn't take all day. Gathering food didn't take all day. So what filled the rest of the hours? Turns out, boredom was doing something to their brains that we've almost completely lost. When a hunter-gatherer had nothing urgent to do, their mind didn't go blank. It went searching. Researchers call this directed exploration. When there's no immediate task, the brain naturally starts testing, experimenting, and noticing patterns it would otherwise ignore. This is likely where a huge chunk of early tool-making came from. Not necessity. Boredom. Someone picking up a rock for the 100th time. Not because they needed to, but because there was nothing else to do. And one of those times, they noticed it could be shaped into something sharper. Multiply that boredom-driven fidgeting across thousands of generations, and you start to understand where a lot of early innovation actually came from. But it wasn't just tools. Boredom also built the first stories, around fires, in the hours before sleep, with nothing to hunt and nothing to gather. Ancient humans talked, not about logistics, about everything else. Cave paintings found across Europe, Asia, and Africa, some over 40,000 years old, aren't instruction manuals. They're not, here's how to hunt a bison. Many of them are strange, symbolic, even dreamlike. Handprints, abstract patterns, animals that don't quite look real. That's not survival information. That's imagination, doodled onto stone because a mind needed somewhere to put itself. Here's where it gets interesting from a brain science angle. When your mind wanders, when it's bored, a specific network in your brain activates. It's called the default mode network. It's the same system responsible for imagination, memory, and thinking about other people's thoughts. In other words, boredom isn't the absence of brain activity. It's a different, very specific kind of brain activity. One that's wired for creativity and social thinking. Which means every time an ancient human sat by a fire with nothing to do, their brain was quietly building the exact mental tools needed for language, storytelling, and eventually, civilization. There's also a darker side to this. Boredom, when it went on too long, wasn't always productive. Some anthropologists believe prolonged boredom in isolated environments, like during harsh winters when groups were stuck in shelters for weeks, contributed to increased conflict. Small irritations that would normally be ignored started to matter more. Grudges formed. This might be one of the earliest social pressures that pushed humans to develop more complex rules, rituals, and social structures. Not to survive nature, to survive each other. Once boredom set in, some researchers even point to something called self-domestication, the theory that humans, over tens of thousands of years, essentially bred themselves for patience and cooperation, partly because the individuals who couldn't handle boredom without lashing out were less likely to survive group living. If that's true, then boredom itself was a kind of filter. It didn't just fill time, it shaped who we became. And then there's play. Not just for children, for adults too. Evidence of early game-like objects, carved dice-shaped bones, and rhythmic markings suggest ancient humans invented games long before writing existed. Boredom pushed people toward competition, toward rules, toward small structured chaos, just to make time feel like it was moving. So the next time you're bored, really bored, phone dead, nothing to do, know that you're tapping into something ancient. Something that built tools, cave art, storytelling, and the very wiring in your brain that makes you creative and social in the first place. Boredom wasn't a problem our ancestors needed to solve. It was the space where almost everything else got invented. If your brain just found this more interesting than it expected to, that's the default mode network doing exactly what it's done for 50,000 years. Hit like and subscribe if you want to keep exploring questions like this one. What would you have done with 6 free hours a day and no phone? Let me know below.